Is it, some sort of instructional video or whatever else? And they're like, no, we're just watching some guy play Minecraft. And I'm just like, you're kidding me. You're just sitting there watching, somebody else play this game. And they're like, yeah. And they like,
Yeah, I know.
that's how we learn, to do it better ourselves or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess that makes sense.
Well,
So,
it does make sense. You know, my former career was a designer, and I worked in software. I still an engineer at a company on a website, but I would go to the demos and watch the demo people use software, and then I'd go home and try it, and then I'd read the manual, and I learned so fast. So watching people do stuff really is an advantage for me. So I understand your kids.
yeah, yeah. But at the time, I was just like, that is really silly what you guys are doing. But
What a waste of time.
yeah,
Not.
yeah. But then I'm just like, oh, okay. Here I've got these live streams that I do, and I get comments from people like, well, thank you for doing this. This is how I'm learning how to play the game or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool.
You know,
And
I
then
heard a rumor.
I'm not much better either. I'm finding live streams of people playing games. I'm like, I'm sitting there watching it for hours, kind
Yeah.
of a thing. So,
I have, you know, I grew up when I couldn't find opponents and I had games and they sat there on the table and I sort of had my imaginary friend I'd play with, you know, it was like something out of a SNL skit. And now, you know, I can play anybody in the world if I can just reach out and get them to answer the mail.
yeah.
And and that's great. And I can watch people play and I can evaluate games before I buy them. You know, I watched you doing the Albuera and I think it looks great, but it's just kinda not my style, and so I was able to make that evaluation,
Hmm.
accurately without throwing away money or getting upset by it, you know, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and so that's nice. I mean, a lot of the designers that I've talked with, they don't have a Vassal module ready to go before the game does in many cases. And
Yeah.
so this was a unique opportunity for us to do it. I thought not only would then I be able to get a better handle on how the game works, and I played it before and I really liked the game, but then it'd be a chance for him to kind of show off the graphics and talk a little bit about it. So that way, yeah, you're right. People could make a more educated decision about purchasing a game.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I agree with you. It's a wonderful world we live in terms of gaming. It really is.
hmm,
I almost don't know that I'd wanna sit down with you person face to face halfway between us 2 hours every Thursday morning, you know? But I know I wanna sit in front of the computer and do it with you.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind doing it face to face, provided we didn't have to, struggle through the snow uphill both ways, that kind of a thing. So,
Which it definitely is between Oregon and Southern California, somewhere in there.
indeed. So, all right. Well, we are here at beautiful, snowy Eylau. I think we had started or we'd gone through the process of changing orders. It's the 12 o'clock turn. And I think we'd even gone so far as did we pick a cube?
I've actually, placed 3 cubes, and we have picked the fire cube. So the fire cube is ready to go, and
Oh,
it's out there on our back.
okay.
When I'm playing, I really like that, by the way. When I always pull a cube before I leave the game, so I know where to start the next time. And then you can deduce from there based on the number of cubes on your army chart, so
Okay. Cool, cool. Yeah, and it looks like we had done a few. I had a few cubes pulled on mine, and I'm going to presume the same for you. Yeah, yeah. It looks like you had 3 cubes. You've moved
yep,
the second division
a lot.
a lot. Yeah, basically its entire allotment for this turn. Okay. Well, so it's the fire thing. So I guess we would um, start with that and work our way down the line. So, uh, do we want to start here in this zone over here by
Yep,
Eylau where our units are all smashed against each other? Okay.
I think that's the appropriate place to
Okay.
All right.
So, um, yeah, those guys, I guess, can take a shot. I don't know. Do they have a line of sight?
We
Yeah, I
can
guess
find
they
out
do because these guys are down
in the hole.
in the hole, so to speak. So, yep, yep, you've got a line of sight.
Yeah, I
It's,
think that
it's not the
that's where
most
we're at.
elegant looking line of sight line, but it will work.
Yeah, I think that the worst case is that you can go down hex spines in Eylau, but we're not even on a spine, we're
Yeah,
close to it.
yeah,
So I think we're
yeah.
good.
So you're
All
good.
right, so let me go ahead and see what I've got there. I've got 2 batteries, so I'm going to
So you
open my
got
fire chart.
four, and you are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes.
So
So you're
that's
times
times 1.
one. So you're on the four chart. Um, and then let's
And
look at stuff. There's no snow. Um, I am in obstructed terrain, so that's going to be a -2.
correct.
Um, yeah, so it looks like it's just a straight up -2. So on the four chart with a -2.
Think you're correct.
Yep,
Pull
chuck
this
some
over and
dice.
see.
A 10
8.
becomes an 8. That is a miss.
By 1, dang it.
Yep, close but no cigar, as they say.
No cigar. All right. So now I'm going to take the next artillery.
Mm-hmm.
Go. That guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Also
He's got
five
one
away, but he's got a bigger stack of people, it looks like. He's got 8.
right.
And so he's going to be on the 8 chart. It is, once again, -2 for obstructed terrain, but +1 because they're heavy artillery.
So
So
it's
it's just
minus,
a -1 on the 8 chart. A 5
which
becomes a
is
4,
nothing.
so that is nothing terribly impressive.
Okay. And then I'm going to turn it over to you and have you take a couple of shots.
Okay, I've got these infantry here that can take a shot at these infantry here, and so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna be 4 times 2 is 8. Um, and I and you are in column, and I'm French infantry firing against infantry in column. So I'll have a +1 on my roll. So I'm on the 8 chart with a +1. So let's see what we get. A 6 becomes a 7. That is a miss.
Again, by 1.
Yep.
Okay.
And we add the smoke marker. Where's the smoke marker? There we go. Okay. Um, and then I guess I might as well have this guy do the same thing. So it's also on the 8 chart with a +1. A 9 becomes a 10. That's a single hit.
What? Yeah.
Chipping away at those poor guys.
Oh, they're chipped.
Yep. And
They're chipped.
add the smoke marker there to be official. All right, and I guess last but not least, we've got the guys that are in the village can take a pot shot at you. They can fire out with 2 strength points, and they will still just the same +1. So, but we're on the 2 chart, so we got to roll really high. That's not high enough.
Thank goodness. I want
Okay,
those years. I don't want to lose those.
well, there's still another fire cube out there, right?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. Um, so you can probably do a bunch of return fire, I guess, with the infantry that's there.
Righty-ho. Okay, so I've actually got artillery I'm gonna go back to.
Oh,
I've got artillery
okay.
here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there is 4, and it's gonna be halved, so it's 2 plus 1 for Heavy artillery, -2 for the obstructed terrain. So it's a net -1. And that's a 7 on 2. That's a nothing.
Okay.
And then this guy's going to do the same thing. Okay, he's a 9 on 2, and that's still nothing.
Okay.
That's impressive.
That
All right.
is.
You want to take a couple?
Well, why don't you? Don't your infantry fire?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course they do. They're coming around to it now.
Okay.
All right. So this guy is in general order.
Right.
So he
So he's
has
worth
2
2
points,
points. So you're on the
and
two
he's
chart.
adjacent.
Yep.
Aha!
An 11 on the two chart is a single hit.
Okay.
Okay. Mark a loss. Okay.
What have you got in there? Yeah. Good. Okay. And then this guy here is 4 points is it for a column? Maximum 2 points. Okay. So it's 2 points um, here to here.
Well, do you have? So there was something where it said it's only the top unit that fires.
One. Let's go with
Is
that
that
then.
is that correct?
I thought you could pull from what was underneath, but I'm not sure that you can. I think that I need to look that up. So I'm more comfortable going with a 1 in this shot. And a 1 at 10 is nothing.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought that there was something about.
I believe you absolutely. I think that's the
Well,
case.
please don't, because I'm frequently like, um, I've
I am
got so
often
many rules going through my head. I've got this game. I had the Albuera game that I was playing. I've got, I've been helping Clash of Arms playtest their new Eylau game. So that's
how's
fifth.
that going?
That's fifth edition of fifth edition rules for La Bataille. Then I'm playing this game on Monday night where we're using Regs 30. Then on Sunday night I'm playing Battles of the Age of Reason. So I've got so many rules floating around in my head. Um, all right, Grim Harbinger sends his greetings, and Cardboard Commander says, "Good morning, gents. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in and watching us." So somebody brave out in that part of the world. I know Grim Harbinger is in
It's
the UK.
it's been worse. It's pretty nice out here, really.
Yeah. But yeah, the game for the Labatai Eylau is going to be a good one. I mean, it was one of the better ones that the Labatai ever put out, um, because the battle itself is pretty balanced, um, and so as a result, um, it's a good one. But we're playing with the fifth edition rules, so that adds command control and some other different elements to it that were lacking in the first edition that came out there in the, I guess it would have been in the mid '80s. Um, yeah. Did you find the?
Yeah, it does. It's confusing. It says a
Oh yeah, yeah,
maximum.
yeah. So I'm looking at 21.3 resolution of fire. If there are two
Yeah,
infantry units in a hex, only the top infantry unit in the hex may fire. A maximum of 4 infantry SPs in line formation may fire from a hex, independently of how many SPs the top unit in the stack has.
isn't that wonderful? That's an absolute contradiction
Yeah,
right
that
there.
is. SPs of infantry in line are multiplied by 2 when executing fire attack. Well, we already knew that. An infantry unit in column formation can only fire with 2 SPs when it has more than 2 enemy units adjacent in its front. The player needs to decide how to split its 2 SP fire strength.
Yeah, well,
So,
we're both right.
so
So
okay,
let's
so
go with
I think there's right. So it says if there are 2 infantry units in a hex, only the top infantry unit in the hex may fire. But it seems like it's making an exception for if the unit is in line.
exactly my thought,
right?
and that
So
makes
the thinking is, okay, you've got a you've got a column, right? Only the front column, the top unit is that's the lead column if we want to think about it. So only its fire value would be done or
yeah,
used.
I
So
think you're right.
yeah, yeah. So that unit's only got one, and it's saying you've got to split it between the two units that you're firing at.
My question is, does that apply,
So does that
when it's
apply to
fire?
my when I fired Bessier? Did he need to split between this and this?
I'm pretty sure
And I'm
that's only
thinking
in
that's what I need to do, right?
I think that's only intended to be, when you,
For defensive fire.
defensive fire. Well, it doesn't say that though, so when it doesn't say that, you've gotta do that. That's the rule.
So where?
I will I will ask.
Yeah.
I will ask the editors that.
Do we have anything here that says? So where does it say that you have to split your fire? I mean, it just talked about it
Bottom
there.
section are in 21.3, right? So 21.3 says, when it has more than two enemy units adjacent to its front axis, the player needs to decide how to split its two SP fire strength from a column. Does not specify whether it's defensive fire or shared fire. So I think it is applies to
Okay,
everything.
so that is for units in column. What's it say for units that are in line?
Does not say anything.
Right. So it looks like it's making the exception for units in column having to fire at both, which really nerfs your fire value.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
totally understand.
So you basically just have a fire value of 1. I guess if that's halved, you'd round it up to 1, right? So you'd just be
Yeah.
firing at a value of 1 at those two targets in your front.
Okay, well, it didn't actually matter because the place where I got your point loss was here from
Yeah,
that
from that
6.
guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's open order, so we're okay with that. This was the one where I should have, split the fire, and it didn't matter because it didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So we're good. At least
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So now we move down. I've got some artillery, and I'm wondering if I can fire on these guys here. We look like we're both equidistant from the
Contour.
contour. I mean, if I can't fire at them, I know I can fire at the guy just behind them. Right.
I think you can fire.
What's our line of sight rule? Line of sight. If the target is on higher, okay, if the target is on a lower level, the line of sight is blocked if the blocking feature is closer to the target. Okay, well, it's not closer to the target, it's equidistant. So I guess we would be able to fire. So I've got 2 increments of artillery there at a range of 3. So we're times 2, so we're going to be on the 4 chart. And you are in line, so there's no bonuses in any particular direction. So it's just on the 4 chart, straight up roll. Let's see what we get. A 7 is going to be
Man,
a miss. Okay. All right. Now we move down the line. You've got more artillery, a bunch of artillery up there on the hill.
sure, okay, so what am I gonna shoot? Well, I think we got lots. Let's start here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 6 points at 5 hexes. So that should be
So
6 times
6.
1 blue.
Yep, you're on the 6 chart. And I'm in line, so there's no pluses or minuses, and that's your horse guns. So it's just a straight up roll on the 6 chart.
Wow, very
That
nice.
is a miss. Now the next guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are your heavy guns. So you've got 8 increments there. So you're going to be on the 8 chart. But you will have a +1 for heavy guns.
8 chart +1.
Yep. Ooh,
Oh,
that's a big
yeah,
number.
that's
That is
that's
a
a
13. So that's 2 hits and a morale check.
that's good.
That's very nice. All right. So now what I need to do is make a check. So we go over to that little check thing. They're not an elite unit, not anymore. They're not Russian. They're not adjacent to anybody who bugged out. They're not in obstructed terrain or in square. And there's not any enemy cavalry within 3 of them. There's no leader present, so there's no modifier. So they have to roll basically a 6 or greater, and they're okay. So
Correct.
let's roll on 2 dice to see what we get. A 4. Wow, these
Nice.
guys are really unlucky. So they're going to take another hit, and they got to go back. How far do they retreat? Their whatever their
They're
movement was, right?
yeah.
1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4. Okay, that's probably the best thing for them to do is get out of dodge there.
It does not hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, getting out of dodge doesn't hurt.
yeah.
Okay. I've got well, that took away my shot from this guy, I'm afraid.
Well,
No, I
he's
think I
got
can
other
still
people he can shoot. 1, 2, 3,
I think
4, 5,
here.
6, 7. What's his range? Oh, he's only got a range of 6. Okay. So yeah, you can fire those guys up on that side of the ridge. So you're going to be on the. He's going to
Wait,
be
let me
halved, so he's going to be on the 2 chart.
2
No,
chart.
no pluses, no minuses.
He's horse, so he's 6. So he's just within range on that guy, right?
Yep, just barely.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So good. Okay. So it's a 2, and there's no pluses. So just
Yep.
roll it up. 3.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Always take it. All right. And then we've got a heavy and a horse behind it. So the horse can't fire, but the heavy can. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's halved. So it's 2, no modifiers.
Well, no, you do have a modifier, don't you? Have a
Oh,
+1
+1.
since we're heavy? Yeah.
So that's still not enough. It's
Okay.
2 at 8. That's not enough.
And then the horse guns don't look like they've got any targets.
They don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's a whole new world of people down here at the bottom, too. You got stuff to shoot.
Do I?
You do.
Oh, yeah, I guess we do. We got some guns that are unlimbered down there, don't we?
Yes, indeed.
Very good. Well, what shall we do? We'll just take a shot across the creek at you, and I'm sure then you'll return the favor.
I might.
Yeah. So this guy here will fire over at this guy here, and then this guy here will fire at that guy there. So we're at a range of 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are just at straight up 1 factor. So I've got 2 on these guys. There doesn't seem to be any modifier. So we're just on the 2 chart. Let's roll and see what we get. An 8 on the 2 chart is going to be a miss. And then the next guy is same difference. And that's a miss as well. Okay.
I'm going to return that favor, as you said.
Yep.
So this guy's firing here, and this guy is firing here, and this guy, because he's got another one. Let me go over
Yep.
and make sure. Yes, there's 3 batteries here.
Yep.
They're all gonna fire at that first unit, and
Okay.
they're all straight up. So there's
Okay.
2 and 2 and 2.
Okay.
So the first one's a miss. The second one is a hit, 1 point.
No. Oh, yeah, you're right. On 11 is actually a hit. All right, chip 1 off. Okay.
And then this one's an 8, and that's a miss.
Okay.
So all 3 of these have
You
got
throw enough lead in the air, you're bound to hit somebody.
you are.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, and I think that is it for me, and I think that is it for you.
Yeah, that's definitely it for me. So I guess we can hit the remove smoke marker button.
Yeah.
I think you got the better of that deal, particularly with that 12 with your heavy guns. That was a
That
nice
was a
little bit
bonus.
of destruction. Yeah, that was like
That was
what,
a bonus.
3 increments ended up that unit
Wow, 3 out of
lost.
7. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
big.
So that's nearly half of it got wiped out. So time to put those guys into recovery mode.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you take the next pull
Okay,
activation?
here we go. Hey, we got Gary from Ardwolf's Lair tuning in. Hello, Gary. I guess it's got to be what, 9:30 in his part of the universe. Hey, and we got a French cube. That's always exciting.
Oh
So
yeah.
now we got to figure out what the French are going to do. So we had moved so far the guard division, and we had moved the first division of the 7th Corps. We basically pulled them out from a really unhappy spot.
It was an unhealthy relationship,
Oh
you
my
and the guy.
gosh, yeah. But it was very educational. We got to see
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
how
Um,
problematic moving infantry right up against heavy guns. So that's the only thing that I have to talk with Ed Wimble over at Clash of Arms, because in our play test of his game system for La Bataille, we have run multiple infantry columns right up against the Russian heavy guns, and they have managed to, yeah, just like, okay, there went the battery. Oh, there went the battery. They've taken some losses sometimes. They'll lose a couple of increments, but uh, it's there. He's got to have some mechanism where it makes it a little bit, where the artillery has a little bit more staying power. Right now, they'll bug out if anything happens that scares them, and so that's the only complaint I have with the 5th edition rules, is they're not quite as kind
are
to
the
the
fifth edition
artillery.
rules new?
They
Were
have
they around?
been out since 2016. They came out with
Oh, really?
Dresden, so they've been out for a while now, and they're good. I like them for a lot of reasons, but I've noticed playing it more and more that and particularly compared to like Premier rules and even regs, artillery is a lot harder to get rid of in those rule sets than it is in 5th edition. So it's a balancing thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's kind of just to take a little step back. The Lavatai rule system is 50 years old this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
First came was 1975.
yeah. Let's see. Okay. So I got to figure out who I want to do something with. And I've got my dragoons haven't really done anything yet. Second dragoons, third dragoons, the cuirassiers. We want to do some cavalry charges. I think that would be a good thing to do, but let's see where everybody's at. So, the third dragoons under Klein have a move order. All right. And the second dragoons also, and the first, okay, all right. Okay, so All right, I'm going to give it to the 1st Dragoons. Get them in motion. So they are over there. Yes, these are. Yes, they are the 1st Dragoons here. Grim Harbinger says he is only dipping his toes into Labatai these last couple of weeks. So, welcome to the Labatai universe. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gets them over here. And the next guys. 1. Oh, I gotta leave my leader there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm still using the old. I'm still using. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gets him there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gets him there. And then we'll move our illustrious commander there. All right. That was that activation.
So let me see what I pull. Woohoo!
It's a Russian one. The Ruskies.
Russians. Where are we going to put them? Where are we going to put them?
So you got, who else? You've got the 3rd Division was on the attack. You've got the Reserve Cavalry was on the attack.
The
And the
8th
8th
Division's
Division's on the attack. And then the artillery.
Bagaboo is a defend.
Do you only have the one thing? Where's your other artillery? Or does all of the artillery fall under artillery of the center?
Good question.
Oh, no,
No.
there's a right-wing artillery reserve. Do you have a
There
left-wing
is.
artillery reserve? Oh, yeah, I see them over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they are not actually in this scenario.
So do you only have then the center? So what's all
I
this
have
other artillery?
reserve. Well, the other artillery is with the 2nd Division and Bagavoo.
Right. So this is the left-wing artillery, right? This
Reserve.
is the center artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do have both. You
I
just
do
don't have
have
the right-wing artillery. Right-wing
two of
is off on the other side of Eylau.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I gotta decide where I'm gonna put this cube. Where are my cubes? Okay, I'm dragging it off, and I haven't finally placed it because I gotta decide where I want to put it. Where's the 14th Division? Way back here. Okay. Well, you can't really move that until you get
Grim Harbinger says regarding Labatai turning 50, he says, that's a scary thought. At my age, I might live to see Labatai's 100th anniversary.
Ha!
Yeah, that would be something.
Young whippersnapper.
Indeed. Yeah, I think Grim is one of my younger viewers at the tender age of 30 or something like that. So
Well, that's great.
although my son has a couple of roommates in college, and they will tune in to my broadcast. Obviously, not one at this time in the morning. Yes,
You
and
did say
so
college.
yes, so Gary, it's 6:30 in the morning here in California, and also 6:30 in the morning in Oregon. So
Oh, yeah.
both of us are a bunch of gluttons for punishment here. We're both up at the crack of dawn, so to speak,
Well,
playing
it's
this.
I'm gonna put this on the left wing cavalry reserve.
Okay, kind of figured you might.
Yeah. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Oh,
1,
he's got the heavy guys coming up.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I've now finally figured out what the little symbol on the Cossacks is.
Oh, it's
It's their furry
their
little hats.
yep. I don't even know what they're called. The furry hats.
Yeah, yeah. For the longest time, I was like, that's a really weird thing that they have.
It's a pot on a campfire making
Yeah, I
oatmeal.
mean, that's kind of what I thought was like, oh, yeah, it's a weird looking little symbol. Yeah, because the one for the dragoons doesn't really look like what the dragoons were wearing, hat wise. The symbol for the cuirassiers makes sense because it's the cuirass.
Yeah, I
Um,
thought
yeah, yeah. And the lancers, yeah, it's a lance. But the one for the dragoons,
I think it's a French metal dragoon
oh,
horse tail.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's got the sort of the helmet and then the little plume
Yeah.
coming off the back. Okay. Although, yeah, depending on what year it is, they
Yeah,
what are they wearing that year? Yeah.
I know. I know. It's a little bewildering, isn't it?
Yeah, oh my gosh. I was talking with
Especially
somebody
this time.
about miniatures and on Facebook, and I'm glad that so I'm now an admin on the Labatai Facebook page.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. So the fellow who'd been running it had been out of the country, and so we'd been trying to reach him because it had been almost, but not, it had been at least 8 or 9 months since he'd done anything with the page. So there were over 70 people who were waiting to get added to that page.
Yeah, I was
Um,
kind of complaining to Ed and saying, "Hey, where is this guy? Do you know him?"
yeah, no,
So,
and apparently somebody had said that they saw him at Winterfest, and so I contacted Ed and I said, "Hey, somebody said he's at Winterfest, so it means he's alive because we thought maybe he was dead."
I I
um,
I I
and
understood.
uh, and so uh, he he responded. Ed was able to reach him directly, and so so then he added me as an admin since he's traveling a lot, from what he said,
Got it.
and so now we'll be able to keep that um, keep that program going successfully for the foreseeable future.
That was like one of the last groups that I wanted to join. I'm in Board War Gamer. I'm in um, Cardboard Cuirassier.
Yeah.
I wanted La Bataille, and then I started one for Tactiques Napoleon.
Right. I
So,
saw that one.
so those are the ones that I'm kind of most interested in. Really between like World War One naval games and Napoleonics, that's enough. I've play tested other things, and I've got partners that want to play other stuff, but that's not me.
All right. The
I'll
French
believe.
have got another chit. Isn't that exciting?
Oh
I
yeah,
can tell you're excited.
I am.
So now the question is, what do we do next? So we've got a couple of exciting possibilities. One would be to charge or attack in some other exciting way. Or what else could we do? We could just hang back and stare at you and let your artillery beat us to a pulp. So let's see. I want to do some cavalry charges. So we're going to do some stuff with the cavalry. Let's see. Those guys are awfully slow, even when they're feeling good about themselves. They're slow. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they're 2 less the next time. So 1, 2, 3. And cavalry, every unit you you pay an extra 1 moving adjacent. So it's not just the infantry, right?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
units.
yeah, yeah. So those poor cuirassiers can't even get into the mix here. They're so bloody slow.
This scenario is turning out to be the traffic cop scenario where you've got to figure out how to move divisions to let other divisions through.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I left a nice big gap there between Houdelet and Saint Hilaire.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
kind of where I'm going to be shoving most of my cavalry, I think. So, okay, well, then let's go ahead and we'll put it on the 2nd Dragoons, and that should be Grouchy, not yet a marshal. And where did I put my cube? I set it down on the board, I thought. Yes, it's fairly typical for me. Put it somewhere and forget about it. Okay, so we can move them, start to get them into motion. So, where to park them? Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, four, five, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And oh, those are horse guns. I love my horse guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then Grouchy himself can come up here and hang out with the guns. Cool. All right, well, that was exciting. Back to the bag. This time you grab one.
Hold on. Okay. I'm using my notebook LM to look stuff up. Just
You
because there's
are.
stuff that needs looking. All right. Let me see what I found. Because I'm going to feel really stupid if I don't. All right. Okay. So that's going to go to the left wing reserve cavalry again.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could have gone a little quicker. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. Whoops, I want to change that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, you're going to try to surround the square there. Well, let's see how that goes.
Let's see how that works out for me, huh? Okay. And I'm going to move that. So I'm done and I got my cuirassiers in reserve. Okay.
Okay. So is
So,
that it? Time to go pick another chit?
no, it's actually assault. It's actually going
I'm
to be an
pulling your
assault.
leg. I'm pulling your leg.
Are you? Are you
Ah,
now?
yeah, yeah. Okay, well, let's see how that looks.
All right. So
So,
that's
so who all is attacking?
who all is attacking is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so
So
those
that's
guys. Okay.
32.
32. All right, so I get to do some firing. So
Oh,
these
I did.
guys can fire there, and then these
Right.
guys can fire out at the other three, I guess.
Yep.
So we're on the 2 chart here. Um, so on the 2 chart,
Now,
and I don't.
remember, you got your fire divided by 3 from that cube, so you could fire at 2 units.
I know, but I can only fire at ones that are attacking, right? So I can't fire
You can
at.
fire at the Cossacks. It's more for the other guy coming up. Yeah, go ahead. You're doing exactly the right thing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, 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 yeah. So I can fire there, and the most I can fire out is 2 from any given hex. Correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. So those guys, I'll fire there on the 2, and I'll get a +1 because it's defensive fire. And I don't think there's any other modifier. So let's roll and see what we get. A 7 plus 1 is an 8 on the 2 chart. So basically, I need to get an 11 or better. So
Yeah.
that's no good. So then we'll fire on this guy here with a
Okay.
+1. That's going to be a 12. So that's definitely a hit on that guy. And then we'll fire at the next chap. And that's going to be a 10. That's not a hit. That was a good roll, though. I'll save it for another day. And then we've got our last one, and that's a miss. Okay, so we got 1 on you at least. That's better than a poke
Right.
in the eye.
That is.
Okay, so you've got 8 and 8 and 8 and another 7. So you're at 31 to 10. So you are at 3 to 1. So for cavalry, that's a -3 for the odds. For me, we now go to, I'm being charged from more than 1 hex, so that brings it up to a -4. Infantry in square charged, so it's now a +4. So now we're at 0.
Right.
I don't have a leader present. And now we go down to you. Do you have any elite units?
No.
No. You did take 1 hit from defensive fire, so there's a +1 on the die.
Yep.
It was not a short charge. It's not against infantry, not in square. Nobody's tired. Not uphill, not downhill. And then you have a leader who adds 1. So it looks like my +1, your -1. So we're at 0. So it's just a straight up roll. See
It's
what you
just a
get.
straight up roll.
Yep. Roll high. A 6. That is
Oh,
not high
that-
enough.
unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a loss. And do I take
Uh,
then a loss for every hex I can't retreat, or I'm just surrender because I'm surrounded?
Well, first off, you're going to take 2 strength point loss because it's cavalry versus infantry.
Okay.
It's not the one for infantry versus infantry. And then my understanding is that because you can't retreat, you are going to have to surrender.
Okay. Then he will have to surrender. So sad. So you basically just ganged up on him. Oh, well, live and learn.
It was a fist fight. Okay, and I am going to.
You have to mark all your guys as tired then, I guess.
There we go. Okay, that's it for me. Go ahead and pull a cube.
All right, here we go. So, oh, I came up with the wrong thing. Where are we at? We're there. It's another fire cube. It's the
Ouch.
second fire cube. So we head back up to the northern part of the universe.
Let us do. Why don't you start with your guard?
My guard. So, yeah. So we've got this. I guess I have to. No. Well, I don't have to split it since I'm in line. Or do I have to split it? Is that what did we decide?
God, what did we just say? I think it's a general. I think you have to split it.
Okay. So I will have
Yeah.
8. I've got 8.
Audience help. Let us throw a lifeline out to the audience. Is everybody come up with?
Yeah, I will have to see. So I've got 8 fire value, and I can split it so I could go 2 here and 6 there, for example. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I will. So I'm on the 2 chart over here on those guys, and let's see. We've got. You are in obstructed terrain, so that's going to be a -2. Oh, so there's no way I can hit you, so I'm not even going to bother to roll the dice. So then here I'm on the on the um, on
6.
the 6 chart, and I will have a +1. So that's going to be a 9 on the 6 chart. That is a single hit. So that unit goes poof. And then you are going to need to
Do the morale checks and all that.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a square roll. So I am not elite. I'm not green. I'm a Russian, so it's a +1. I am in the same hex as friendly unit eliminated, -2. So it's now net -1. I am not in obstructed terrain or in square. There's no cavalry within.
There
There is
is
cavalry.
cavalry, yeah.
Yeah. That's -2. So what did I come up with? So now I'm at -3.
Yep, you should have a
Lead the press.
-3.
So I have a -3.
Yep.
So I need to get not that.
Yep. So they're definitely going to bug out. So they'll lose an increment, and they're going to have to skedaddle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. That's that.
Okay, that was exciting.
Absolutely. Okay. So you've got artillery here. You want to take that?
Sure, I guess we can fire then on. I think we said we could fire on those guys. So
Yes, we can.
we're on the 2 chart. No pluses, no minuses. A 12. That's good enough
That'll
for a
do it.
hit. Chip away a few of those poor guys.
Okay. All right, so let me take a couple here.
Yep, you've got
I'm
a
going to
few.
start. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to take 2 points out of the obstructed. That's not even worth doing because it's a -2. No, as in for assault, it is 2. I'm going to take that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's still nothing.
Yeah.
All right. And then these guys are going to take the shot. Oh, oh, that might be better. I think I can hit your guard.
Well, could you have? Because your guy was there. I mean, we did things slightly out of order, but whatever.
I don't know the answer to that. Do you do the morales as you go?
um, I had thought that normally you start at the one end of the top end of the line and you work your way down. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know if
I
it because it's
Answer the question.
simultaneous fire. So that's always the
Yeah.
question: is what happens with the simultaneous part? Um, so
Yeah.
let's see what it says with the resolution procedure for simultaneous fire segment. All units may change their facing for free at the start of the fire segment. The player who has the initiative starts executing fire combats with one of his eligible units. So I did have the initiative, so that would have been me. The player who fires first selects the eligible target. This unit is indicated by a smoke marker. After execution of this fire combat, the opposing player receives the opportunity to select one unit of the same army flank to execute a fire combat by indicating the fire unit with a smoke. Okay, the first player is now executing a fire combat with the second unit. Proceed down the length of the front. This procedure is then repeated with each player alternating firing one unit at the same time until all desired permissible fire has been executed. To remember that a unit has executed fire, place a smoke marker. So I think he's still there, which means then I would. We just know that we're going to have to retreat him, which means then he would also be fired at. Because remember, it's all simultaneous. So these guys should fire, and then these guys should fire, and your guy who is there should fire, right? If it's all considered simultaneous.
I think that's actually the right answer.
Yeah,
Hold on just a quick second. The
sure.
Tsarevich is woken. The Tsarevich has missed his bus to school.
Oh, do you have to leave then to give him a
No,
ride?
no, no, no. I will give him a ride when we're done.
Ah, okay.
There's an order of importance here. Did I say that? Did I say that? I'm so sorry.
That's all
Okay,
right. He's not watching the live stream, so I'm sure you're
that's good.
safe. Yeah.
So I'm firing 2 from my column here,
Yep.
and that's not going to hit.
Okay.
And
Then
so now he retreats.
no, so I still need to take a shot at him, right? From these guys and these guys, since they hadn't fired yet.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Then let's do that.
Yeah. So I'm on the 8 chart with a +1, and that's a miss. And then I'm on the 2 chart with a +1. That's an 11, so that's a hit on that guy. So just leave him there,
Okay.
right? We'll retreat him at the end.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to what I was shooting at earlier. So I've got 4 points here of artillery,
Yep.
and I'm shooting at your obstructed hex.
Yep.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Artillery at 5 is
So it should
times
be
1,
just time 1, right?
4 points. -2 for obstructed terrain.
Yep.
And I don't think there's anything else. Okay.
So chuck some dice.
Oops.
A 10 minus 2 is an 8.
Oh,
And you just missed it again.
just missed it. Just by that much. Okay. So I'm going to take this guy and fire 8 points, and now it's a -2 plus 1, so it's a -1. So
Okay.
8 minus 1 is a nothing. All right. Let me go ahead and take a 4 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 2 at no 2 at your guard cavalry.
Okay.
2 is not going to be enough there. So, and then the next 2 at the same target, the guard cavalry.
Okay.
Nothing. All right. So you want to take some now?
I don't have any until we get way down to Saint-Hilaire's division.
Okay.
So you've got some of that guns of the left wing in the meantime.
Right.
They've got a few targets. Is that
They do.
convenient?
Okay, right here I've got 6 points firing at 6 hexes here. So that's
So
going to
you're
be
halved.
a 3, and there's no modifiers.
Yep.
So it's a 7, so there's nothing.
Yep.
This guy, the next one down is 8 firing at this guy here, and it's
That's
straight
a
up 8.
5. Yeah, so it's 8. Mm-hmm.
But it's got a +1 because it's heavy artillery.
Yep.
6, still not good enough.
Becomes a 7. Now you just missed it again.
Yep. So this guy's going to fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to fire these guns separately. I'm going to fire the 3, which comes out as a 2 with no modifier.
Right.
9. I'm going to fire this guy, which is a 4. So that comes out as a 2 with a +1 modifier, and that misses.
Okay.
This guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 is SP times 1. That's great.
Yep.
So it's 3 on the cavalry.
Yep.
So
Oh.
5. And then 3 on this guy here.
Okay.
From here. No modifiers. 3 at 9 is not going to be enough.
No.
Okay.
All right. Now we move down to the exciting people over here. So, what shall we do? Okay, we will we'll gang up. We'll have everybody, all these guys firing at Bagavoo. Keep it simple. So we're on the 2 chart, and there's no pluses, no minuses. Right? Yep. So here we go. First one. A 9 on the 2 chart is not enough to do anything. And the next one, an 11. That's actually a hit. Those little guns go pop, pop.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to take a cube off of my board for the guy who got greased.
An AC, an Army Fatigue Point, an AFP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And I didn't either. I had one go too.
Yeah,
so
the guy who got killed up there.
That's right. Okay, so let's go up here and come down. So send it to common pool. Very good. Okay, so I am going to fire. Great. I'm going to fire this guy and this guy and this guy all at full 2 points, no modifier attack.
At that guy. Okay. Just roll
Yep.
your dice.
2
Who's
is
got
an
to get
8,
an
it's
11 or
nothing,
more?
thing, and a nothing.
Nah.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. So, oh, yeah. So then we've got this square down here that can fire if you stick around. So, this is where, like, I think the tired rule should prevent you from being able to run away.
I
Right? This
don't
is
think it
where,
does.
no, 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 I know, but this is where, like, the whole thing is kind of broken with the cavalry
Yeah.
because you can just dance in and out and you can never be hit unless artillery is firing at you, kind of nonsense.
I'm just
So,
double checking that because I want to just read that again. Cavalry units are given, oh, it's not a retire order, evade.
yeah, it's the evade. So,
Okay, so cavalry units may always evade is an adjacent hex at the beginning of the simultaneous fire segment. If an enemy unit moves or adjacent to, okay, it does not say tired. You're right. So I actually can evade. Right. So I'm going to evade.
yeah,
All right. The dancing cavalry.
yep.
Okay.
Happy dancing cavalry. Okay. So that should take care of that. So we can remove the smoke markers, remove the moved markers, and we go back to the bag. Why don't you go ahead and grab one?
Let me get there. Hold on. In the bag. It's in the bag. Oh,
Oh,
boom.
it's a French
Outside of
one. All right, let's see here. We are going to. Who was that? Who is that? That is the first Dragoons. All right, we're going to get the first Dragoons. They're going to get their revenge. In theory. In theory, they're going to get their revenge. So let's go down there and see what we can do. So So what's the rule with the Cossacks? They can retreat.
They can always retreat from cavalry.
Okay.
Is it always?
That's if they have a path of retreat?
Yes, yes, yes. They have to have a path of retreat. They can't.
Okay.
So you can cut me off
But
here.
they would retreat as I move up to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So if I move this guy here, then you would either reaction charge or
Yeah,
retreat.
yeah. Okay. I have to pass a check. The result is greater than 8. The player launched the assault procedure, and it doesn't say that I can't do it head on. Cossacks can't charge infantry or artillery through their front hex sides, but we could do the. Oh shoot! What the heck? Come on, let's do it. I guess if I roll a morale check here, then I can do that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try. So let's roll that. Oh,
Okay.
11.
So they
Okay.
did. All
All
right. So
right. So,
you are reaction charging me.
all right.
So if we look at the odds, it's 1-to-1 odds. So there's no modifiers. The defending unit is just a regular old dragoon from the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any modifiers there that I can see, right?
Nope.
And then I don't think there's any modifiers for you, is there?
There's a minus
Well,
2
no,
for
it's a minus. It's a +2 for short distance.
it's a malice of 2.
Yes. So And they're not tired. So, yeah, so then you just go ahead and roll with a +2 from the looks of it.
I made him tired because that's what they're going to be at the end. So it's a 9.
9.
Defender holds position. The attacker takes a 1 stacking point loss.
And then
Okay.
you've got and all right, and then he's tired? Oh, you already
He's tired.
flipped him. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I think to start with while we were talking, just because.
Okay. So he is stuck there, right? Now, if I say I'm going to assault him, can he retreat still, or I bring somebody else up? What happens now?
I would think he's committed to that attack, but that's me using logic, not the rules.
Right, and so that's why I'm curious, like, okay, now I can run away from you again.
I don't think I can. I think if another unit charged, I could. If this guy charged, I think I would get the same chance to evade, but not from him. I think I'm engaged now.
So my question is, so if I bring this guy up and he parks himself like here, right? Can this guy, where would he be able to retreat to?
Well,
Can
he
he?
can't at that point because you can't evade into an adjacent zone of an enemy unit.
Okay, so he's basically, he would be stuck.
He would be
So,
stuck given the other chopstick. Yeah.
right. Okay. So I've got 5 movement points, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, fiddlesticks, I can't get there. Yeah, so I guess the best I could do is get this guy over here.
Yep.
And I can put this guy here. Well, so let me finish. So he can't evade. He's stuck at this point, is what you're saying? Or, well, he can't because he's got nowhere to go. He can't go over that unit, and he can't go through those others. So he's basically pinned there.
Yep. And
Okay,
evade, unlike a retreat, doesn't allow you to push back.
right.
So he's stuck there.
Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets him there. Okay, so now at this point, this guy would have the option to evade or to, okay. So now if I move here, do I have to pay the extra Zoc charge again or
Yeah,
not?
I think you do. You know, when you move adjacent to me, you pay it. And
Okay,
that's the point of evading. Evading slows down everybody.
right, right. Okay, good to know. Let's see then. Okay, then I will just simply bring this guy here and or do I want to do that? Okay. Cool. Then we'll have these 2 units attack this unit here.
All right.
So we're going to have 10 to 4. That's 2 to 1 odds. So we will have a -2. You're Russian, so that gives you a +1. So we're just at a -1. But you're being attacked from more than 1 hex. So that's then a -2 again.
Leader.
I've got a leader there, so my leader is going to give me another 2, so it's a -4 so far. The unit's not green. Let's see. It's not a short charge. Oh, okay. And it's only the tired currently only affects the attacker, not the defender.
That is correct.
Okay, so it looks like altogether it's just a -4 on the chart. Does that sound
Yeah,
about right for you?
does to me. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Here, let's chuck the dice, see what we get. A 10 -4 is going to be a 6.
Still good enough.
Yep, so I'm glad I had the leader there. That made the difference. All right, so they're going to
You're gonna
lose
have to push
1.
back, and then they're gonna have to push back again. That's 2, 3, 4, 5.
And they just go half of theirs, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
half round.
All right. So then let's go ahead and flip that guy. And we can then flip that guy. All right, and we'll advance. Whoops. We will advance into that hex. Now, I presume that my leader can advance with the unit.
I believe so, but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
I have been doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it
Um,
makes sense to me. He was used in the assault. If the unit's going in, he should be able to go in too, you would
Yep,
think.
yep. I
So,
have I had the same situation come up with one of the senior editors in a game I was playing with him, and he didn't say a word. That seems to be the right way.
okay. All right. So that takes care of that little part of the universe. So then now I guess we would go back to the cube, the cube pull.
Okay,
So you want to
and
grab one?
yep, I'm working on that. Blue. That's your third.
It's
This is
an
your third blue in a row. So this is the last blue you can take. Is that true?
no, it's not. I just did because we had
Fire
the
cube.
fire cube and then we've had
Yep.
2 blues.
Yep.
So, but I think this will probably be my last one anyway because how many do I have out on the board? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we just have 6, or do we have 7?
I have to look it up. You may have one more.
Okay. So,
I mean, you have one more because I have 5 on the board. So with
right, and
this, the
there's
5,
3 left in the
you have
bag.
one more.
So,
Yep.
okay. Boop, 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 boop. So, do we continue to abuse the Russians? Maybe. Maybe we do. But we're now, if we use those guys a third time, they're going to be -4 on their movement, right? But
Yeah,
they
it's
can
not
always
much.
go at least 1 hex forward. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So if I wanted to, I could at least push them. So this guy, even though he's -4, it would normally cost him 2 movement points to go there. He could
Here
still
we
do
go. Yeah.
that. Okay.
Here we
All right. And okay. What the heck? Why not? Let's be aggressive. We're French after all. That's what the French are all about. So we're going to activate then the first dragoons for the last time. Let me get it on the right spot on the chart for them. All right, and let's see what we can accomplish. Up, 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 up. So these guys are going to move here. Do you wish to evade me?
We'll evade with that.
Okay. All right, and I can't do anything else. I don't have enough points to go anywhere else. So let's see. This guy is going to move here. Do you wish to evade? I don't think you
Yes.
can. Oh, yeah, I guess it's a partial hex. He could go there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go here.
And now I can't evade.
Now you can't evade. Nope. Oh, and I was curious with this guy here, when he lost the combat and had to move, wouldn't this guy had to have made a, I mean, he moved out of the way, but wouldn't he have had to make a stand check? Or is that only for
Mm,
infantry?
No, I totally forgot about that. Let me roll that right now. It's a 5. So
He actually
um,
would have taken a loss and bugged out.
let me just take the loss and leave him where he is because you've got him trapped. So go ahead and finish him off.
Okay. All right, that's that. And the question is, yeah, we'll bring this guy up as well. Okay, all right. So we've got a couple of different attacky things happening. So we'll have these guys attack your lancers. So we're on the 1-to-1 chart. So there's no odds modifier.
Nope.
You're Russian, so there's a +1.
Right?
No SPs losses, nothing. I'm not tired. So it's should be just a straight up roll, but with a +1 on the roll because you're Russian. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, here
That's
we
what
go.
I
Let's
come
see
up with.
what we get. A 6 + 1 is a 7. That's enough to get you to bug out. So take a loss and I guess go back half your movement.
Okay.
All right, and I'll mark him as tired then. All right, now if we were to attack this other guy, we've got how many? 10 to 7. I don't think you could charitably say that. We round that up to 10 to 1 or 2 to 1. So that would be a 1-to-1 attack. And you're Russian, that's +1, but you're being attacked from 2 hexes, so that's another, so that washes out. My leader adds in 2, yours adds in 1, so I'd be at a +1. But then I'm tired, so then it's a plus in your favor. So, right, tired? No, tired is -2. Yeah,
No,
so there'd
no,
be a
it's here.
+1 altogether.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yep.
Okay, all right. So if we did that, then it's just a net +1. Sure, why not? We're the French. We attack. That's what we do. A 7. Oh, it's an 8. So we each take a loss. Okay.
There you go.
Well, that was better than a poke in the eye. All right, and then last but not least, we'll have this guy attack over here.
Funny because I
So
was thinking it was a poke in the eye.
what's that?
Funny because I was thinking it was exactly a poke in the eye.
All right, so this one I can think that we can generously say it is 2 to 1. 7 to 4
Yeah,
is,
three
yeah,
over is half the difference, more than half
yeah.
the difference. 2
So
to
there'll
1.
be a -2 for the cavalry. You're Russian, so it's a +1. So we're just back down to a -1 on the roll. It's not a short charge. I'm not tired. Is there any other modifier you can think of?
Not that I can think of. I'm running them
Okay,
through my head right now.
so it's just a -1 on the die roll. See what we get. Another 7. That's going to be enough to get them to bug out.
I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna take my point. Whoops.
Oh, you know
Take
what
my
you forgot to do? You forgot to roll for these guys when these guys ran away.
I do that all the time. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so
Let me
make
get
your
this one
stand check for
now.
those guys, I guess.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they are now tired. This guy gets a stand check, and this guy gets a stand check.
Yep. So which one
So
do
let
you
me
want to do?
start with this one up here first, because
Yep.
that's what we're relying on. So I'm gonna roll the dice, and I rolled a 3, and that's not enough to
So
stand.
he's
So
going to lose 1 and run away.
and now this,
Wouldn't he go back 6? Isn't half of 11 rounded up?
I go 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
There we go.
there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
And now
And so then
this
you got
guy.
that guy there. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
he's
totally fine.
happy.
He laughs.
He
He
laughs in
laughs.
the
No
face of
coins.
danger. All right. Okay, cool. So that takes care of that little excitement and action. Okay.
Okay, so
Um,
I'm gonna
all right,
go
back up to the bag.
good, and I'm going to pull it, and it's a green.
It's
What a
a green
shock.
one.
What a shock. Okay, so where am I gonna put it?
Mm.
Bring up my army chart. Oh my.
You've got a lot of stuff that hasn't done anything yet.
I have a lot of stuff that doesn't do anything at all. Okay, so let me just take a quick gander here.
That's always makes me nervous. It's whenever you're gandering.
Well, we actually used to have geese, so I get to gander.
Oh,
It's a
you
bonus.
do. Okay.
Yeah, well, we did. We got rid of them because they were chasing my children. They were a little possessive of my wife and I.
Ah.
Okay, we're going to take this to the. I got to see which division. Hold on. Let's see this third first. We're going to take the 8th division.
So you might want to take a look at what it says in the up there where it's got what's happening, where it's describing what's happening. So it says Russian cube moves bag. So that's you. But then it says French cubes. Then it says Russian cube moves French cubes off board. But it's not you didn't draw a French cube. You drew a Russian cube.
Oh,
So there's something wrong with the vassal module.
that's a good call. I will report it to.
So it should just say Russian, or or it should say Matt, right? If it's or the Russian player, I guess, moves bag, and then it should say the cube that came up. I wonder
Yeah,
if
it
it's
should.
done that with all of them. I imagine it probably has. We'll find out when you draw the next Russian cube as well. I hadn't noticed it before because it was French cubes, but then I'm just like, that's weird. It's a green cube. Why is it calling it a French cube?
Yeah, look, when you go up in the log, it's French cube moves bag French cubes. French cube moves French cubes to someplace on the map. So French cubes is right, Russian cubes is wrong.
Yeah, so it needs to then and did it say fire cube anywhere?
No, it didn't say anything about that. It should put that in the log, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So you might want to just get that updated.
Well, I think that this might be kind of at its point for right now because I think that the next thing that they're going to be working on is Quatre Bras,
Okay,
which is a
cool.
yeah. So we'll see what comes up next. All right. So I'm going to move this to the 8th division. Okay.
Uh-oh, the 8th division. Time to worry.
Eighth. Time to worry.
Where are they
Listen.
at? Oh, they're up there north of Eylau. Okay.
Mhm.
They're the next set of human waves come pouring through.
One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, unlimber. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, and then he's going to go to the bottom. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then I'm going to move Essen up to there. And we're done. Okay. So now you're going to pull another cube, or you want to pull a cube?
I'll go ahead and grab one, see what it says. So it's a blue one. One for the good guys, as we like to say. All right. So now I've got a whole bunch of people that haven't done a whole lot of stuff. And this is my last cube. So I need to get some people in motion. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to give it to the 3rd Dragoons, who are hanging out in the backfield, enjoying their coffee and scones. So let's see, 3rd Dragoons. All right.
Don't you guys drink disgustingly weak hot chocolate and croissants?
Do they? I don't think it's disgustingly weak. I think that a lot of times they drink some very strong coffee, don't they?
I was talking about the chocolate.
Oh,
Well, coffee is the French know how to do coffee.
yeah, yeah.
French, the
They
Italians.
know how to make really good chocolate hot chocolate as well, I would think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gets him there. And then Milhode, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We just have this big lump of people charging up the way.
Yay.
All right. That is it for me. We will clear the moved markers, and
Let's
I think
pull
there's
another
just
one.
one left in the bag.
Woo,
Hey, it
green.
says it's a French cube. I'm sorry. Sorry, the Vassal mod
No,
just says
no,
it's a
no, no,
French
no, no, no,
cube.
no.
I
Oh,
know we
no.
got to go with it.
I'm sorry.
We got to do
No,
what
no.
the magic. I'm
Look,
colorblind. I'm
I'm going
colorblind.
to I'm
I
going to
can't see what color it
chastise them.
is.
I'm gonna chastise the developer for this. Okay, so there's going on the 8th division. No, I lied to you. I put the last cube on the 3rd division. I wanted to move the 8th, or I moved the 8th. I'm only gonna move the 3rd now. I did
Okay.
them out of order.
Third
My bad. Sorry about
division is, oh, yeah, that other big mass of people over there. Okay.
So I'm
Cool.
gonna turn on the command range just to make sure, and it looks like everything in 3rd division is covered.
Yep.
Great. So
Here he comes, thundering across the gap.
like a herd of wildebeest.
Mm-hmm.
Always wanted to be a herd of wildebeest. Getting out of formation here, and 1, 2. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you're doing the same thing. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and unlimber.
Oh, because he doesn't have enough artillery.
Well, I'm having a problem fitting it all, actually.
You're going to really have a problem when you have to retreat.
Ah, oh, perhaps some other game.
Because you have no paths. Yes, in some of these games, this would be deadly. Hmm. Yeah, with the Eylau game that we're playing with Clash of Arms, they've got a random rule that you're making for the Russians at the beginning of every turn for like command confusion, because
Oh,
apparently Benningsen and Sakin were like completely at odds with each other. I don't know. Somebody ended up getting court-martialed at the end of all of this, but they had this complete, So half the time Sakin would ignore whatever Benningsen was telling him to do, and then you'd have Bagration and who else? Barclay de Tolly are there, but I think Barclay de Tolly gets wounded during the night action the day before, and so you've got this whole thing, and so you're rolling the dice, and so sometimes everything's going great, but then there's other times it's just like, okay, Benningsen's his orders are being ignored, Sakin's orders are countering each other, and so now the Russians only got 2 command points to try to move their entire army, kind of thing. And they've only moved by division anyway. So you'll have turns that's just like nothing's going to happen.
I gotta tell you, that's one of the reasons I really am starting to enjoy some of these card-driven mechanics. where there's random stuff like this.
Yeah.
I'm playing a game of Fearful Sacrifice, the
Oh, yeah,
most fearful
yeah.
sacrifice, and it actually is really fun because you're doing things and you're getting thwarted all the time, or a little bit of wind at your back sometimes.
Right.
It's great. I love it. And I've been doing another one called 65 from Flying Pigs. It's a Vietnam game.
Hmm.
And it's amazing. You clear a bunch of stuff out, and then all of these VC pop up in your backfield. It's just, yeah, it's really like I'm watching Apocalypse Now while I'm playing. It builds an incredible internal narrative, and I really highly, highly recommend that game.
Right.
But not kind of my wheelhouse to play, but it's fun. Anyway, so that's the end of my move,
Okay.
and that's the end of everything.
That's the end of everything, indeed. Not the end of
So,
the universe, but so we can clear the moved markers.
yeah, good.
Um, we got all the other stuff. I guess we can, what, flip the thing to refresh the cavalry?
Yeah.
What is
Looks.
this deactivate all units button? What does that do?
Oh, that turns the highlighting on and off.
Ah,
So
okay.
you've got highlight formation, and you've got a highlight formation, right? So you can end up with multiple highlighted form. And you know what I mean.
Ah, okay.
Form. You can turn them all off at once.
Right. So if I select a unit and then I click highlight, no, I have to select the leader.
Nope, you
And
select an individual unit, not a pair.
so I select a unit and then I hit, what do I hit?
Highlight on the
Oh,
menu.
highlight formation. Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
All
That's really
right.
useful in combination with the command radio.
Right. Because then you can see who's part of that formation and then who's within range or who's not within range.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you want to move up this other gun that you had for the 3rd Division that's kind of here in the backfield?
Oh, yes, I did
I mean,
actually,
I
but
don't
I
know where
don't.
you're going to put it because you're running out of space, but you could shove it somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Okay, that did not come across as friendly as it was meant to.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm good now, and I'll clear his move.
Okay.
So there he goes. Thank you for that, by the way. All
You're
right.
welcome. All right, so we've got all the stuff. So then we would have, what's the button that sends everything back to the bag?
That's the bag. That's the guy right here next to the
The
two, three,
bag
four.
button.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see, what did it take to the bag? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I have to take my other one and put it back on top of Murat because
Yep.
it's hoovering that one up at the same time.
Yep.
All right, and then we could advance the clock.
I'm gonna stick these back in the bag now, actually.
Well, no, don't put the leave either a French or a Russian cube out because
Good call. We'll determine
yeah,
initiative
because we
next.
need to figure out initiative. So I'm going to advance the clock to 1 o'clock, and our weather is clear, right? We're playing with the historical weather result, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that takes care of that. So next time when we get together, we will then issue new orders, and maybe I can do a big cavalry charge, which I know what everyone is looking forward to.
I, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Have you? Because
Really.
you haven't played this scenario yet. Have you done a
No, I
big
have.
charge with Murat yet?
Yes, I have. I've been playing the full game with Mark Trowbridge,
Okay.
and I'm in the midst of a charge there. I've got my first activation of the charge, but you can reactivate a charge the second time and do another charge. So I'm going to do that. And I had very good success. My secret was that I got horse artillery up and I broke a square,
Oh
and
wow.
with
Okay.
fire, so it brought him below three stacking points or
Right.
strength points. So then I overran him, and I got really good results on that flank. And I'm hitting him on the side with the where Davout comes in. So I've
Okay.
got four divisions of cavalry there, um, three of dragoon, one of heavy cavalry, and I've got one, two, three, four, 4 divisions of infantry right behind it. So I'm really going to focus on that joint. He's turned his left flank 90 degrees, so he's defending against Davu's push, and I'm going to hit him right at the hinge of
Well, so
that.
where is he? Is he holding Sir Fallen, or did he pull back from Sir Fallen?
No, he's in Sir Pollen.
Okay, so that's
I'm not.
is that where the corner is?
Yes, he. I
Okay,
don't know that he has any units in Sir Pollen, but yeah, this is where it is, and he's got his left wing cavalry and Bagavu's cavalry down here. So he's
right.
got a lot of cavalry and a lot of Cossacks, and my Davu's infantry hasn't really made it much past here right now.
Okay,
But this whole plain out here is just filled with French.
with French cavalry.
French cavalry and French infantry starts here.
Oh,
So I got
okay.
two right here behind the cavalry to push forward. I got a division over on this side, and I got a division coming across here. So anyway, the cavalry charge is really kind of fun. And what you end up doing is you end up moving all 4 of the divisions, or well, up to 4 divisions. You move all of the divisions at one time, right? So you can do a lot of, uh, like I did with that square down there. You can do a lot of picking and forcing retreats, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to continue. I think I have one additional cavalry regiment or division that I can add to the charge too, but I'm not sure. I'd have to go recount that.
Hmm.
There's a screenshot of the charge right before it took place up on the board game, the board Wargamer.
Okay, I'll have to take
So
a look at that.
yeah. So anyway, this is good, and I'm excited to go further. It's a lot of fun playing, and thank you, Eric.
Well, you're welcome, Matt. It was a pleasure, and I'm getting a better feel for things. I liked what you did with my square. That was an interesting lesson for me to learn. Because I'm just like, okay, yeah, normally squares, cavalry, but you're like, oh yeah, I guess if you completely surround it,
If you get enough, if you
yeah, if
get
you get
enough,
enough stuff there, yeah, yeah. So,
and it
but
still
even
wasn't
even with
the,
everything you
the
had
retreat.
there, it still was like it just came down to the die roll.
It did.
So I thought
It,
that was really
four,
interesting. So
yeah, 4 cavalry regiments versus you with 2 cavalry regiments in back, and it was an even roll.
yeah,
So it just shows you that infantry and squares pretty darn strong.
yeah. Well, against cavalry, it should be. So yeah, no, that was interesting. Otherwise, all the other stuff that's been kind of going on has been similar to what we've seen in the other games that we've done. Um, and yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, kind of best uses for stuff. A lot of stuff is similar to, Labatai or the other games, but just with how the combat is, um, it still will take a little bit of getting used to. So cool. All right. Well, very good, Matt. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thanks everyone for sticking around to watch, and we'll see